Hi, my name is Yashrikar Bhaskaran.
And I'm Josh Pollock, and today we're going to be talking to you about our language learning toy.
So, our goal with this language learning toy is to help brain development, reduce screen time, and bridge cultural gaps, all while enhancing family bonding at the same time. Our passion for this project is personal as we both come from multilingual households. I specifically was born in India and raised here, so I know the struggles of learning a new language while keeping in touch with your mother tongue. And I know it's important to my parents that my brother and I retain a piece of our homeland and are able to communicate with our relatives from there.
And more on the brain development side, we learned that language learning is not just a powerful tool for communication, but it also stimulates the brain in multiple ways. Firstly, it enhances cognitive skills like memory, problem solving, and critical thinking. And specifically for younger learners, it's been shown to positively impact the brain's ability to adapt and also form new neural connections. Additionally, multilingualism fosters improved multitasking, creativity, and flexible thinking. And then lastly, on the older half, studies suggest that bilingualism can delay the onset of age-related cognitive declines, such as stuff like Alzheimer's disease.
Here you could see Buddy the language bear and how he first looked when we first thought of him and made like an original mock-up. As you can see, he's a stuffed plush bear with a speaker on his stomach and tons of buttons for multiple interactive activities. Additionally, he would connect to an app that allows the parent to track the child's progress and what words they're learning.
And so as for the product design and creation side, on the technology half, we talked about what materials we would need. So we need a speaker, an Arduino microcontroller to contain all the programming, and of course, electrical wires that will connect to the buttons that can be seen on the paws or the ears. And lastly, a microphone that would be inside the nose, which will have the ability to have the whole thing connect to an app. And for the material, we decided on a soft spandex for the outer layering and a polyester fiber filling, which has a sort of memory foam material that would be fun for the child to squeeze and also safe. And for more safety, all the technology would be contained inside a rubber box and all the wires would have rubber coating. That way there's no risk of the material being flammable or any electricity leaking through.
So here is our product overview. As you can see, the power on and off buttons right here on the ear, and the volume buttons are on the left ear in case the parents are sick of hearing them and want to lower the volume a little. All the features would be embroidered because we want to reduce the use of like plastic features like noses because it causes an increased choking hazard. And all the buttons will be made from like silicone, what you see in like the Pop-It toys, a little rubbery type feeling, and it's easier to sew those into the plush. That way, there's less chance of it falling out over time with this pressing. The nose will be a microphone, but it'll have a mesh layer sewn on, so there'll be like a backup layer just in case the microphone gets a little loose, but it shouldn't because there should be a wire holding it back to the main controller. And as for the back, there'll be a welt zipper pocket. So welt means just an extra layer of cloth sewn onto the side of the zipper so that it hides the zipper. And not only that, but we thought of having a second patch of cloth sewn on the top. That way you can tuck the zipper in it because kids don't have the dexterity that adults do to like pull the zipper out of that patch and then unzip it. And the technology will be put in a rubber box, and in the back will be like an attached pack where it's like a remote controller where you click it off and open it, and then you can slide in the AA batteries and put the zip it back up. And obviously, since we're using AA batteries, we don't have to worry about things like the Reese's law, where there's choking hazards with button cell batteries, the tiny ones. And also AA batteries are just so much easier to find. You know, you'll just have those laying around rather than like tiny button cell batteries. And we would want this toy to go through ASTM standards for testing quality and safety to make sure that everything that we're marketing is as we say it is.
And as Judy was talking a little bit more about the product overview, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the technology. And on the right, you can see a little bit of the code. And what that would do is this bear will have speech recognition, not voice recognition, but purely speech to be able to understand words. And for connectivity to the app that we would link to the parent's phone, it would purely be through Bluetooth connection to make it as closed of a loop as possible and nothing going out into the internet and possibly being leaked to the public. And so there's no better way of explaining a product than showing you what it might be like. So here we have a demo product of Buddy the language bear and basic functions. And although this is a connected toy, the chip's only designed for speech recognition and not tracking any other data, as I mentioned. And additionally, the toy does not need the app, but it could in case a parent wants to add new words or add story times or songs. And it could be helpful for the parents to keep track of what their child is learning. And additionally, something we wanted to implement into the app and started was replacing the default words with hearing stuff from maybe like your mom or your grandma. So if we have a default thing that says hola, you can actually overwrite that and put in your own voice so the child can hear. So we'd love to show you guys a little demo. If any of the judges want to chime in, we can have you guys say something. So if anyone
Any
wants.
volunteers?
I'll do it.
Okay. So say you're like a kid, you're learning how to say basic words. So say you want to learn hello. Once I press the button, you can say that into the mic and
Hello.
hola.
So additionally, it will have a larger list of words. We have hello, goodbye, different foods. And we also decided to make it be able to know phrases. So if you want to say something like, I love you,
Say at home.
it'll say, I love you back. And it doesn't just recognize pure words, but it will also understand full phrases. So let's say I want to say something like, how do I say goodbye?
Adios.
It also understands that full phrase and is able to teach you that as well.
And obviously, we're trying to connect families, bring everyone together. So, say you're missing grandma a lot. She's away in her hometown, but she managed to record a story from you. You could just go, can you tell me a story from grandma? Okay, here's a story from grandma called A Trip to the Market. Viaje al mercado. And obviously, as they're learning and they hear words from their grandma and they can recognize it and repeat it back, because kids pick up on everything really quick. So it'll be easy back and forth, and then they'll catch up on more.
Yeah, and that's just a little demo of how it would look in full action.
So our greatest strength is that we provide a fun and educational toy for kids to learn while also reducing screen time. And along with being a toy, it also encourages family bonding. Family members, especially those who are the native speakers of the bear language, can join in, which turns playtime into a shared experience. And it'll engage in a fun and educational activities with the child. The plush toy is designed to foster interactions between the child, parents, any other adults in their lives, which creates a nurturing and positive environment. As children learn new language, they naturally develop an appreciation for diverse cultures, contributing to a more inclusive worldview. Our weakness includes the production cost and the potential language limit. Children don't need a broad dictionary, but as we pull in different languages and create a larger set of things that the bear can do, we might need to update that and grow with it.
And so for our opportunities, the market for educational toys is still growing, and we see this as a great opportunity. We hope to expand into containing multiple languages more than just Spanish, partner with educational institutions, and possibly even collaborate with licensed characters, such as having a Mickey Mouse theme bear that will have his voice, or maybe possibly Elsa and other Disney characters. And as for the threats, there's other companion toys such as AI toy Moxie that we learned about at the toy fair, but their price point is very high, such as $700. And additionally, they have a screen right on the front, whereas ours is purely, we want to reduce screen time and has no screen that the child will view and purely just talking to.
So this is me, Allison James. She's our main demographic for the buyer. As a working mom, Allison is constantly seeking toys that'll encourage her children aged 4 to 7 to step away from their iPads and engage in a more interactive play. Her goal is to find something that is both entertaining and educational. And being bilingual, she's keen on introducing her children to Spanish, but it's a challenging task given that she's working and so is her husband, and they have busy work schedules that don't always align. This is where our toy fits perfectly into her life. After picking her children up from school, she can turn on the toy, allowing her children to play and learn. And simultaneously, she can monitor their progress and engagement through the companion app to make sure that they're entertained and picking up new skills. So she could just be in the kitchen cooking, and the child could be sitting at the dining table learning words, and she can play along too.
And as for our budget breakdown, you can see here we have the Arduino and speaker would cost around $389. And as for the other materials, if we add it all up, it comes to around $10, but with the manufacturing fees, such as the shipping through either water or air and the fees and the taxes, that would cost around $14 a unit, which would make our total price to make $24.48 per unit. And we would hope that this would sell for around $60, and that would make a reasonable profit for a starting point. And as it gets more complex and different versions, we could rethink the price point, but we think that we would want to keep it affordable and still be able to make a profit.